Martha, director Martha Academy, never abantu bavuma ICC. But I mean bavuma wish ne ICC tegituuka bulungi. ICC linga gye baayiriza. Linga gye basooka n'okukola. How are you, Martha? Hope you're doing well. Kyagalira ddala
kuzimanyi okulemererwa
kati bwegana okusiba malawo yawe mbandika Serengeta nga ndi mabega nga nsobola muviira n'apisa bwe tuba twambuka mbanjala muba mu maaso. Access News morning. I hope you're doing well. So you guys remember when we talked about for the guys that were there, I know Kati Pioneer, Nyinawo, Martha, JK, Emma, Innocent, Vianney, Abera Mukamolo. Of course, we have Abera Mukamolo, Abachari, Pioneer, but Abasinga Kati Papia. So when we discussed these two things, probably they were not here. I'm glad you're good, Martha. Good morning, Azizi, Kati Azizi Teyaliwo. In Access News, we were there when we were discussing the Kizen principle and Maslow. That's like, was it in January when we did that? So I realized that people often call me asking me the questions that we talked about a long time ago, things that we have done, probably because the videos, the live broadcasts are long and someone cannot go watching each and every broadcast, and sometimes they don't even know what it means. So it's not bad if we also remind ourselves about these principles. They may actually guide us as we make whatever decision we decide to make. Yeah. So today we're going to try and cover the Kizen and of course the Maslow principles and how we can apply them in our lives, especially to the aspect of purchasing and maintaining a car on the road. So just to remind you, the first quarter of the year got done. Ey'emyezi ena ey'aba corporate gye babeera nayo ffe yaggwako dda tuli mu quarter yakubiri. Actually quarter ey'okubiri tugenda kugimalako because 6 months in the second quarter. So regardless of what you plan to do, I hope you have gone at least 25%, because a quarter is 25% of the year, so it should be 25% of whatever you planned to do. And if it changed, it better change for the better. You watched. Thank you. Good morning, Antonio. I hope you're doing well. So the Kizen, Martha, what is student wange munonji? So what would you talk about the Kizen? Where did it come from, and what does it mean for us? And how do we apply it? Martha, tell us. Innocent Wali. Innocent is a very big fan of Toyotas, so he knows even the terms I don't know. He knows even the engine codes I don't know. He knows the chassis numbers I don't know. I think he knows the chassis number of the Toyota. Abikwata byonna. So remind us, Martha, about the Kizen. And of course Maslow, you guys should know Maslow. We have been talking about Maslow for like a year. Atuzimpa Michael. We are neighbors. Now So you guys, we're talking about Kizen. Martha, where are we today? Drone mujira bwenyirira bannange. And by the way, for the guys that are looking to do taxi business, you can get a drone in the bond at around 55 million. So if you can raise 55 million, ogula ka drone konga kapya no kasa kubala okitegeera no kasa kubala ne weeyagala. Yeah. You buy a drone. And by the way, for you guys, if you have money to go to the bond, you have the money, and by having the money, it doesn't, I don't want you to be having that very amount and then you go buy a car in all of it. By having money, I mean you have money and you will stay with money to buy fuel. But okay, I'm bond. No gule moroka. Ate no sikalanga tulina sente zikolachi. Zigisigaza kukuba mafuta kukanika bichi. Okitegeera. Kati kwegamba. But if you have the money to go to the bond, akarabu from karaba kati fe mwabai mo trim level kati yo aero. You guys have a way to that's super. Yebajita super when Kampala in the Ugandan language. Bajita super. Rav for super. Era no butara bwayo wano maso kuba bubiyite kaba kamu. Good morning Senkubuge. Yebaita super yo rav for. So kati fe trim levels they wafe nafe tulabo tuchezite Kampala. Yeah, so you guys, who has heard of the Kizen, apart from the people that were here when we talked about the Kizen? Who has heard of the Kizen principle? I mean, the Maslow, that's a very common thing. Everybody even in institutes, when you go to do whichever course, Maslow is one of the things that you talk about. You talk about the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Remember, so Maslow hierarchy of needs, because the Maslow hierarchy of good morning, Paul, JK. Maslow hierarchy of needs is sajanga tukakaravu for tamanyi speed limit kubanze mvuga 70 km/h we katoyo bwatu yisa bwapisa na isa noli andi maso abata mu 80. I try to maintain the speed limit when I'm driving on the road. The people that put the speed limit bali balina ku magezi babasoma, so toyinza kuveri no kamba baba deberi de wa Prado no wakano ka Suzuki. Ka Suzuki kuno bujja bupya, by the way. That Suzuki Brezza Kavera 0 mileage. So that one I can actually, any car, if you are buying 0 mileage, any car you can buy, apart from BMWs have problems even in the countries where they buy. We apply the Kaizen principle in engineering. Yes, JK, tell us about the Kaizen principle, but don't tell us the complicated language. You tell us the normal the layman's language. It's the reason you keep getting all those models of products like phones every year. You keep improving. Yeah, I think, but isn't it costly? Like continuous improvement. Kaizen sounds Japanese or German. It's Japanese, Benjamin B. It's Japanese. By the way, you know, we apply Kaizen principle. We have been applying Kaizen for Dynamo without even knowing. Hey, continuous improvement with everything we do. With everything you do, you apply the Kaizen, and it should apply to every department. JK uses complicated words sometimes. I have a feeling about to waliwo mulala akanya nange nti olumu olina ebigambo byoleta nolakira ddala ngolaki nga yualayingi fe tutamanyi luzungu. Kai, we have been speaking English since Q1. How do you say we don't know English?
Like advanced English, you know.
At advanced taida kyakona wano mulimbalimba wano. Yekama nyokuba oku kamunoga kati kunakubyewo bwaki. Afa oga kati jekeda guno kugamba okubyewo bwaki baba. Nenga yakubyewo ate bamara okukubawo najja nakunnyonnyola ngalabira temugutegedde, because jeke there are times you give us comments neso kansirikirira namu ngamba naye kati this man era jeke wono ja ku podcast tujja kuba tulina kuyiga luzungu ndoza like 30 minutes ezisooka soke tukanye ku bigambo byogenda okukozesa bwe tumala okukanya ku bigambo byogenda okukozesa kata utandika obikozesa otherwise tujja kukwatagana mwasuze otya twasuze bulungi Bashir mpozi gwe Kizen omukazi abadde ku boda boda ewese bubi ebadde nnyingiridde n'aluma n'omumwa ng'akiraba wa boda we yazza obubi ng'oli waddabo kabine yali atuyingidde wano ng'adduka ng'ali ku gundi ku restaurant ne kati gwe kkoona oliyingiranga mu gwagwa tokubye na ng'ombe tukoze eki and normally they tell us if you're going to enter a corner you're either going to go right or left good so that someone the other side also knows it waliye moroka ekola kina ddala ekiro because at night at least kwabaako amataala so someone can see the lights n'amanya nti alaba amataala n'amanya nti waliye moroka ejja naye bw'obanga tekuli mataala the best you could do is go slow but if you cannot go slow kuwulira obwangu bukuluma at least good okitegeera kati babeera mu estate ezo amakubo ago bagakola galimu amakoona agali sharp. The best way for you to save people's lives is by actually hooting. Hooting is a norm when people like my house is at a corner. By the way, simanjenge na kwenda corner. Bangenda nja kufuna ye ebyuma mbisimbe. Moroka zine ngejeze duka mu corner nja kuyingira ekikomera kyange. At least osimbe ebyuma nga bwajja bino ebyuma bi. Anti okola guarding ya byuma. Ofuna bino ebyuma bibajja mu moroka. Go. Okay, let me start reading Kaizen principle things. Kaizen is Japanese and mostly used by Toyota, though other automotive manufacturers have begun to catch on. Yeah, I think it doesn't just apply to auto manufacturing. I think when you think about it, some people just don't have a name for it, but we are continuously improving every day. You see, even me, I was trying to improve what the night microphone yangu wano ne mujingo bya. Nagenda neteka mu kasente negula microphone ya wireless ateka wano neteka ne wano. Okay. Wanji? Tegujja kuggwawo ate tutandika okufuna emirimu emirala egy'okugujjawo. Kati bweguba teguweddewo nga guli wabweru at least okuteekako amayinja amazzi ne gatagutwala. Otegedde nti ndi ku broadcast ndi busy. Kale. What? You give it to mommy. Okay. So, hello. The Kaizen. I think we continuously improve. Nze naleta no microphone wange mubungo bya nasoka nedetaka waya nekagano okukola mu simu. Kati is that mine? No, that's too little. That's for boys. Me, I'm a big man. Let's wait for mommy and see. A lot of money is invested in research and development in engineering, and we don't wait for a perfect product, but release functional products to recoup some of the invested money as we work on improvement. I'm using that, JK. There's a lot of risk, also a risk of taking too much time to come to market, and much better products than what you have may come. JK, there's a product I'm developing for primary schools, performance product, and I took the entire last year I was in development, and I got to a time and it was taking too much time, but along the way then I got this new project I'm working on, so I cannot actually release it. I may have to bring a prototype. I don't know that's what you call it in engineering. So I may have to bring like a model of, I can't call it a model because it's performance. I may have to bring a model of that performance to the market before the end of the year, so that I get feedback from people, and then early next year I can launch the full-blown product. It's like a legendary product, I believe. My team is really passionate about it. We put in a lot of time. I know it can improve. No, thank you. But you know exactly what you guys do in engineering is what I'm doing at Dynamo. So you can sometimes you cannot improve before you go to the market. There are a lot of products that I've seen on the market that have patented. So I'm thinking those are the prototypes that you guys in engineering do. You put a product out, and start selling it so that you get some money back before. Yeah, I was doing that way before I actually started reading about the Kaizen principle. So is that mine?
Yeah.
God. It's like for the kids.
Your big bottles, this is
It rotates on improving quality and productivity. Yes. I get a background in Mrs. Aban and Mama Aban.
Yeah.
Someone says hi. Nenga, this is too little juice.
Hello.
It's like it's medicine.
Sorry, honey. You'll have more tomorrow.
It means change is good. Yes. Good morning, October. So we release products we know are not perfect, but good enough to get some of the R&D money back as we improve continuously. Thank you. Yeah. No, you go. Ono muzadde abadde yerabidde omwana mu mmotoka. Abadde abuzenga ayiseeyo. Ebyuma scrap guys will steal them. Nja biyiwamu enkokoto pole. Nja kusima mbiteekeyo mbiyiwemu enkokoto nga tebasobola bijjawo. Osima ne bikkirira. Because ndi mu koona lyange emmotoka, like my fence is like this, n'emmotoka eva eno ng'erina weta bweti, so bwe zinalemererwa at least oteekawo ebyuma. Put metallic guards around the house, you'll be safe with enough concrete. Yeah. Good morning, Hojambo. Field Tourer has VVTi. No. It has the ordinary EFI engine. Yeah. Take away ebyuma bikola bulungi, otherwise bajja kutomera ekisenge kyo. Yeah, ngenda binoonye eno. Ezo difu enfu. Propeller shaft. I'm going to bring them and put them there. Kaizen means change is good. Yeah. Henry yasuze anyizi. Yeah. Emambu yasuze anyize. Okay, so like JK has said, Kaizen in engineering, and it says you can apply it the same way in all the other fields. I was applying it without even giving it a definition. Like we did a product, it's not perfect. You know, when you develop a product, you want to look in a certain way, which but then sometimes it cannot, because you don't really know what the market will consume and how it will receive it. So then you have to bring a product that is not too ready to the market, but then they will be amazed, because I know the other product, everyone will be amazed, but it's not perfect, it's not what I want. But because it's eating a lot of money, okay, it's eating a lot of money, and if it eats my money for another year, I may run out of money and then end up not being able to bring the product to the market. So now I decide to bring it to the market. I'll bring it later on. I think the business I have will probably end July. I'm very relaxed. Then I will launch it in the product. But it's a prototype. Emma, yeah.
Did you send to me what you have to send it?
Not yet. I'm going to send today. Mukama, good morning. Ngenda kukueleza olwale nanne mutemunampeereza gamba ena afulumye ebintu byange ate njolawa sinaba kufuna yadde ekikumi, sente ezo ziraba zigenda kujja July. Naye katusooka mpeereza instrumento n'amaloboozi, ka instrumento kalungi nnyo ye ringtone yange n'okuba kale. Emma morning. So ebyamwe JK ebyamwe kati tubiteera muteekako a patent. I think it's like a law in engineering or in production that you need to make people know that this thing is still in production so that they don't copy it. Ono motoka. Eno motoka. Say eno motoka. Eno. Yes, it means this is a car. In motoka, it means this is a car. Yeah. Good morning, Emma. So the Kaizen is Japanese for continuous improvement. I know we probably said a lot the time we had the broadcast where we did just the Kaizen principle, but it's important for us to understand ojukira kye nabagamba that when you buy a car, drive it for 3 months without doing any unnecessary maintenance. Like when you buy a car, like abantu betubadde tutugula nabe motoka recently, because remember nze kati bango naliwanika okitegeera tetukyagula motoka below the recommended budget. I have a budget that I recommend for you to buy a car. Kale naku ze motoka tubadde tufune motoka nga teziriiko byakukola, okitegeera nga yobaako obukola oyiwa buyi oyiro ebiseera ebisinga, okitegeera ennaku zino tubadde tukola mpozi. There are cars that you would buy because of specification. If someone has a very big very complicated specification, then it ends up like you may end up finding one car that is good. Nenga na is so good. Nenga it's better than all the cars you have seen. So newe sanga urumungeni ndabirwamu teyambuka, okitegeera newe sanga nga brakes zino kudibwamu, something like that. If you have very serious specifications about the car that you want, newe ojanga totally very specific, then I'm also very strict about getting a car that has no work to be done. So remember, I've been telling you all along that you should try as much as possible that when you buy a car, you don't fix any unnecessary things before you drive that car for at least 3 months. I'm saying this because in period of 3 months, if you drive that car regularly, you should have seen whatever is wrong with that car, and then you do a plan of continuous improvement. Basically, you improve your car continuously. The motoka yange manyi buli kyenyino gikolera okutuuka ku mutindo gw'emmotoka empya. Of course teba mpya, but I know everything I need to do. Like I already have a plan of switching out the entire interior. I want to make it black probably. Switch out the entire interior, seats, bichi, dashboard, bichi, bino ipapula byokunzigi bichi byonna ngenda bijja konsuula eri nteekemu ebipya. Kale tebijja kuba bipya naye nteekemu ebirala ebipya kale almost new. Okitegeera. I already have that plan. I almost got the car. Naye nga kiri ekipapula. You give me mommy phone. Hello? Feel good music. Good morning, Arthur. What is the recommended budget for you? No, I'm constantly sharing the recommended budgets for different cars. For different cars. If you want a good car, there is always yet. Where is the engine? No, the engine is under the bonnet. The engine is here under the bonnet. So it is around here. This is the exhaust pipe. I'm teaching my son the engine, so this is his car. So the engine is normally here. This is the exhaust system. The recommended budget is different for each car. Like right now, if you want to buy a RAV4 old model, you should have about 14 million, a good one. The RAV4 old model, like that would be. Don't forget. Like the RAV4 old model, if you want a good one, you want a good one that is intact, 14 and above. Which take it, and 14 oba teweeronda mbu njagala namba eno bw'ojjanga weeronda enamba era oyinza okufuna emi because oba osazeewo nti njagala namba. But if you're not going to be specific about number plates and you're looking for a good car, 14 should be a good budget. 14, 15 are way what you. Which take it, of course it can go higher, but I'm thinking 14 should be sufficient, a sufficient budget. Wish 18 million, but don't be specific about the number plates. Mbate njagala UPF, mbate bichi. Wewe yagala number plate bya million 25 because kate wish in the bond is 38. Okitegeera. So you should have about 18 if you're not going to be specific about the number plate. Now I'm talking about Toyotas because I personally know that Toyotas will give you peace. Ono namukademu mulaba kati muvuze ngenda muzaaye waka. Okitegeera because I'm working from home. I've dropped these people, now I'm going to go back home. Then I'll come back, there are things I have to pick from town again. Then I'll come back later on and then go back home. Then I'll come back and pick them. Like this has been the journey because these few days I've been working from home. And that has been the journey. And this car has done nothing. I think I'm driving a UAM 2001 model that has more than, it has 262,000 kilometers on the clock. And it doesn't die. It has leakages and oil leakages to cover anyone. But it's moving as long as you make sure that you look at the dipstick every morning kukasa oil achalimu wengo ovuga moroka yo. So that's how reliable Toyota is. The sagara kugenda tugule moroka n'omuntu abonewone. Actually the only person that wanted to buy a Mercedes Benz twamaliriza aguze Crown. Okitegera ate naye agenda ovuga Crown agenda ogivuga tuke kanyanya nga naye ategedde nti Benz moroka ya kipaka sinye ina just branding. Okitegera. So I totally recommend Toyota because it's good. But you can buy other brands as well. They are good. Naenga maintenance yazo ebera ya bay. Of course there are those guys that will tell you nze Nissan njivuze emyaka mukaaga bichi ngasijina mu buzibu. There are two things. Someone having problems and they realize that they have problems, and people having not knowing that they have problems. Omanyo mtu asobola obera n'ekizibu nayenga yeta manyi nti kizibu. Okitegeera. That's the thing for people to try and understand. Ebisere emu omuntu asobola obera nga alina ekizibu naye nga tamanyi nti akola ki nti akirina. Okitegeera. Now me I it's important that you learn to recognize that your car might be a problem, because omuntu asobola okubeera nge moroka emulya naye nga ye tamanyi nti ekola ki. You can imagine I drive 85 kilometers every day. Okitegeera. And that's about 850, that's about 300 and something kilometers. No, 3,000 something kilometers every month. Okitegeera. Ezo kilometer abantu bazivuga myezi mukaaga. But this car never breaks down. Okitegeera. Era agenda okubreaking down, like there is a time that driving shaft was already dead. Nenjiga yalida mu ban parking ku Bat Valley ku mulimu driving shaft nekutuka, but I knew it was going to happen. Like I drove that thing for a month. Ngenkuba bwetonja kitandika nokuba kere kwichu and nali mugayavu because I was busy and I don't want just anyone to handle my car. So I want my mechanic to come. Atali ebisede mu avuga omotoka okujja ku Bat Valley wali ku office yange to fix things. Okitegeera. So the Toyotas, that's why I normally talk about Toyota like this. That's the Valvematic Toyota. Kati yinzo isa million ngasa tu mumo na depending on where you're buying. But that one will give you better fuel mileage than the normal VVTi engine. It will give you the same performance but better fuel mileage. And you realize that wish is actually a little raised. From the ground, it has a higher ground clearance than the normal wish, so the bumpers will be safe. I think I will get more spacers. You'll be very, very safe on the road. Arthur, I want to buy Pajero GDI Itama, but I feel swapping its engine to Mark II engine would be the better decision, since most people say it has engine problems. Actually, that car doesn't have engine problems, Karim. The Pajero GDI Bitama doesn't have engine problems. Those cars have fuel system problems and wiring problems. Your car, those are the only two issues. If you can keep clear of wiring issues, just take the right fuel all the time and service it on time, you can have the time of your life with Pajero GDI Bitama. But the normal IO. But the issue is, we as Ugandans, even if you want to do the right service, your mechanic might not know, or your serviceman might not know. And I find that the issue of swapping out the engine, why would you buy a car that you're going to swap the engine? Just collect money and buy a car that is as comfortable as the Pajero Bitama. I know the Pajero Bitama looks nice and all, but buy it when you can actually maintain it. Jigulengo osobola maintaining kubara so that you enjoy the real car, because the Mark II engine will consume a lot of fuel. The body is bigger than the engine. The engine is weaker than, the engine is not meant to carry that big body, so it will consume a lot of fuel. And top of the expense you're going to get into changing the engine, you'll have to change the engine, the gearbox, the mountings, the computer, the wiring. It's a lot of cost. So personally, I wouldn't recommend that you do that. It will only have to happen if you already bought the Pajero GDI Bitama nge kulide sente nge kutame no gamba let me do this. But if you have not yet bought it, if you're going to buy it when you know you can actually maintain it. okitegeera, and then maintain it. Ebintu byokukyusa engine byetaaga ng'embeera eganye buganyi oga kanteekemu engine ya Mark II, okitegeera. So I wouldn't. So its new technology appears on the market, it may be advisable to wait for a few versions before you buy. Definitely. But when new technology, like I have a spray gun at my home, you know those spray guns that they use to spray the ones that look like guns. Yeah. And I was trying to use it to spray water-based paint. They can't. When you use water, it sprays properly, but it can't spray water-based paint. So I want to try oil-based paints. The is a Zama foot, and I see what happens. But the water-based paints, I think they are too. What should I say? Too conk, too heavy. Yeah. But then the other thing also, Benjamin, you may not know when few versions have actually come out. You may not be sure. And also the thing you want to do it may be that you can actually do it using that particular product that has come out, the prototype. Which take it, because the prototype is normally cheaper. Good morning, Mavo Gadget Center. Peace, Joseph. Good morning. I don't know if Benjamin B it makes sense. So, but Karim, I wouldn't advise to switch the engine. Ebya Martha ne Emma mu pleading ko omukazi amwenambe ekyo nakyo tukiveemu. Ekyo tukiveemu. Eyo wishe enywa bulungi bannanga. Arthur, did you bother to read about which viscosity it is? Yes, it doesn't actually say viscosity. They give you a kafano, and they tell you that water-based paints, let it go through for 40 seconds. If it goes through in 40 seconds, then that is okay. And I did it. I actually did 29 seconds, but then it could not take it through. So I'm going to try and dilute more, but we already got rollers, so we are using rollers now. Yeah, and we have a timeline to catch. I think we have like 3 more days to be done with the set. So the rollers have sped up a little. I have 2 people doing rollers. So the viscosity, they give you a kafano for you to funnel out the paint, and they say water-based paints should go through for 40 seconds, but we even reduced the time. Still did not do. But I'm going to try with paraffin mixed paint, so but thinner. Ebya sigenda bisoma nenga muyambe kafune namba. So the Kaizen principle means continuous improvement. I'm sure there are motorcycles we get in Uganda. You see, especially those cute designs of motorcycles that campuses want to buy. I'm sure those are prototypes that we get here, because I have a friend of mine who bought one of those motorcycles, and when the motorcycle broke down, they did not have spare. So anything that is in prototyping stage, I don't think they produce spare parts in mass. They do mass production of spare parts. So that's the issue. Whenever you get something that is classy on the market, it's important that you be careful as you buy and how much you buy, because you don't want to spend 400,000 on buying a product. I mean, you don't want to spend 5 million on a product which, when it breaks down, you won't have spare parts. You get Mazda Bongo Van 2010 versus Toyota Succeed. Definitely the Succeed. The Mazda Bongo Van might look better than the Succeed, but it definitely won't give you the performance and the durability of a Succeed. Every time you compare a Toyota to a non-Toyota, go with the Toyota. It should be like second nature to all of us. We were comparing a Toyota to Toyota. Go with Toyota. Apart from trucks, Toyota trucks zayo lore zayo sinunji. So then you go with the other one, either Nissan or Mitsubishi. They are always better than Toyotas. Toyota lorries zagaana z'abalema. So that's why when you're comparing lorries, then Toyota might not. Even Costas. You remember we used to have Toyota, the Costas, but now they are no longer there. We have the Mitsubishi Canter vans, or buses. So whenever these small cars, it's like you saying the VW Touran versus Rumion. You go with the Rumion. That Touran will be off the road before my Corolla. But it's a UBF. Nagenda kuva kukubunga Corolla yange na mukadeta navaako. Ontegeera. Arthur has so pleaded that you give it to me. But Arthur, omusajja muwe namba. Omusajja muwe namba Martha. Ate kuyinza okubeera nga Emma ye musajja mukama gwe yakutegekera biddamu ebyo. Nga Emma ye musajja mukama gwe yakutegekera to live forever and ever and ever happy ever after. So but anyway, Kizen, I think it applies even to us. Like, even remember when I was telling you guys that in Uganda the mortgage we pay is you building your house slowly by slowly. Bofuna eza cement zomusenyu ne bayiwa, bofuna eza matafali ne bayiwa, bofuna eza cement ne baleeta, ezomuzibi bozifuna najja n'azimba. Buzigwawo omulamu. Like, I've lived in my house which is incomplete for 2 years and I have no problem. I will complete it when I get money. No pressure. Okitegeera. Anti Toyota ya kibalo loleza bay. Exactly. Lolezi baza bay. Kati Toyota omulole kirabika ebala nnyo mulole neyonoona. Okitegeera. Ate bali abasajja ba Nissan, Mitsubishi, Isuzu, abasajja bakola ng'ekintu spare nga kijja kuperforminga. Wapa ipuche ya se. Okay, no Rumion. I don't know why you people want it. It looks like a box. Why do people like the Rumion so much? Like, there's nothing. Jirabe. It's ate wano musaidi obenda bikirete bannange. Wano musaidi Rumion eninga egenda bikiramu etategeerekeka. Karawu mukalabika bulungi okugisinga. Hello? The Rumion must be fuel efficient. Uganda. No, it's not. The Rumion has the same engine with my car. If it's a 1.5, if it's a 1.8, it has the same engine as the Primo new model. You can't tell me a Rumion of 1.8 is enough fuel efficiency. I think Ugandans just buy the trend. The Rumion nyingi nabone bagula. The Rumion doesn't look that nice. It doesn't have any added advantage to obey nebito bingi. There are cars that you understand why they are many. Like when the Primo old model had just come, it was the fuel efficient car that was there. So it was understandable why people were buying it. Of course, it also looked better than most cars that were on the market then. But and then when the Vitz came, you would understand that okay, tekanywa kati babuguze bungi bakubate bunyo. When the Probox came, it was understandable that people are buying the Probox because etika. So, but the Rumion synergetic. When people buy a lot of Wish, you understand that okay, Wish in to means at least you're buying. That's very understandable. It's like you're driving a van without having a van. Kizen allows improvement at any stage of production. Definitely, we like Rumion because it's boxy. Toyota got the boxy design right, just like the Sienta, but not the Nissan Cube. I think the Nissan Cube actually looks better than this thing. You know, Shetogira Kochi Rumion. The Rumion is imposing on and it has space, but space for what? It still takes five people. At space a beji yambachi. I think Mitsubishi and Isuzu are the only ones who succeeded in the Japanese truck business. Isuzu and Mitsubishi balungi nyo. Okay, someone was asking me if Obaba Bagara Gura Nissan Serena. Like, why would you be buying a Nissan Serena? Is different. I like Rumion's box body, although it's not the most aerodynamic. It doesn't even look good, JK. To them, Mazima. Doesn't even look good. Good morning. As I kindly make us a broadcast comparing Mitsubishi Canter and Mitsubishi. I'm going to do that broadcast and I'll have someone. I was actually planning to just have that as a podcast. Ndeta abantu ba mirundi ngena. Ndeteba makanika, abakanika lole, then ndeteba driver. Avuze Isuzu for some time, now avuze Mitsubishi for some time. So that we are in the studio and we interact. That's what I was planning for that thing, because that's a debate that is very big. I did a TikTok where I was doing what I found in the market. I did interviews on people and what they told me, and people bagana kwe kubabikonde. The people of Mitsubishi are saying the Mitsubishi is the best. The people of Isuzu are saying Isuzu is the best. Of course, when Ugandans are talking about the best, they are talking about two things. They talk about performance and also they talk about maintenance. So most people are saying the Elf is easy to maintain, then other people are saying the Canter is easy to maintain. Kati what we've been doing motosobola kuwakaniramu nga bivuga ya never mechanic bajja kujja nabo comparing. In my studio it will be very easy because I'll have space for more than two people, and then I'll be able to have a picture of all those guys. Video because it will be a very nice experience for you guys to experience. I'll do the same thing with taxis in the mechanical. Yeah, of course I'll not be using advertising, so I'll not be sharing anyone's numbers then in my podcast. My podcast is like I said, because anyone that wants me to share their number will have to actually pay me, and not small money, a lot of money. Yeah, but in the podcast you guys will be able to compare those things. And in the podcast I'll host a lot of people, investment people, I'll host real estate guys. Mwana nakube chitala huyo wa Subaru chikubye ndo za polisi bemba muda mukole kowe bana ibaleta nobo benja okubote ekitala nga tichiri na orange chiri red. Hello, I have my brother is giving me a Nissan March 1.3 2005. Nissan March, problem after problem. The piece Joseph Sidimba. That's why you'll find a Nissan March on UBJ being sold at 7 million. Which take you cannot find a Vitz UBJ. Go to sold at 1 million musanvu. But if it's just giving you drive. Ate modoke yobwerere zewali kuzemo jaze some maintenance. It's just that Nissans are expensive to maintain and the mechanics that understand them are few. So that's why normally I don't recommend them. You will buy it cheaply, but you will bleed through the nose as you try to maintain it. Martha has given you permission, sir. Eriwa permission, inga sijiraba. Martha, have you allowed that I give Emma the number? By the way, you guys, we have been here all along. I had Martha's number, but we have to get permission. Even Emma is very civil. We have to get permission from Martha for me to share the number. So Martha wangama taisha, I will definitely share. Martha jakuja ku podcast banange. Agenda kuja ye Martha, you people for the love of cars, I will allow you to come and advertise your businesses on the podcast for free. Sijabajja ko sente. abawano, especially you guys that have been here for a very long time, you can come and advertise your products and services podcast young without paying me. But yeah, and I know all the names of the guys that have been here. So guy, but after I've been watching your broadcast, ate wagamba tujja kulangira bwerere. Mbamanya abantu bange. Yeah, so Martha ajja kujja ku podcast okulanga Martha Academy, awo mujja kumulaba. For the guys that don't know where this place is, this is industrial area. This is industrial area. One we wali umeme, I think over Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited. Si umeme, UECL, UE yawe ya blue. Those are the guys that make it expensive for us to get poles. Uganda Electricity Transmission. Opano webakola mugundi ku dams. I think this was umeme gives us the poles, but these guys work on the dams, I think. And I was saying, what do they do? Martha, I want to see a confirmation here. Banange tujja jikola get together party. We will. What holos ilaba baba? We are off-roading ngajeke we agambi. Bino bya bikubaganya ne moroka yange yali badete kubagana. Ne wano waliwo ka bondi. Ne wano waliwo ka bondi. Kati awo tutandise okuyingira bugolobi. For the guys that omanyi waliwo abantu abatabeera Kampala, and I have people from Chenjojo, people from Masindi that watch this broadcast, and it's nice. Nabanga tabaddeyo Kampala naye nga Kampala yamubaddemu ku macha. Nva mu kibuga eyo Kampala, nva mu kibuga mbadde bugolobi. Bambuuza obaddeyo oti ambadde ku broadcast awo tugendako e bugolobi, tugenda ku industrial area. So I realize the industrial area has very cheap things. Okay, very affordable, cheaper than anywhere else. So there are things I'm buying from industry and bitwala matuka. Eno corona chembanja agara egenda kola ogwalo ole olwaleero. Kati ngamba shake gwendo wera likira Martha, I mean Emma. Martha bwaba ngambye when number, a number I'm going to give you. The number I shall give you. I mean, I have no problem. While we pothole Jolava, Gaika can disappear in it. Yeah, I don't use Semuto Road now because of those potholes that took my bumper off. Those potholes, especially when it rains, even lorries, the lorry drivers stop and they try to see the angle in which they should be driving through the potholes. Yes, the potholes are Semuto Road in Binyo. So one way wali US embassy banange abali mu kyalo mbalambuza one way wali US embassy chovula but there are those stones babita bati ebyo barricades. US embassy first was, I think they still have offices here. They just don't have the real embassy is in Zambia. Prado, that Prado there, anaiva kumulamwa. Kaizen principle, continuous improvement. Whatever you do, keep improving. Keep improving. Kebere nyambala yo, kebere ndiayo, kebere kubere ngeri joyogera muna abantu. Keep improving. Keep improving. Keep improving whatever you do. Yeah, keep improving. Keep improving. I've spent 5 years in a city worker, but when beera ku broadcast, beera nga ali waka, cause oyita waka every day. Kati mwabatali waka mulaba mulambula otandika okulaba ebifengeri gye bifaanana mbojja tobula na kubula so ntambuza ebigere. But Jackie, now that we talked about the Kizen principle, I realized that even Tronic might be selling to us prototypes. These Tronic guys, they are promoting a lot of things. Twins over to Igula prototypes, they come my of course, cut in the Ugandan products. I buy Ugandan products. Apparently, all electricians in Uganda are saying Ugandan electrical wires are better than than those imported electrical wires. So they all recommend that we buy Ugandan wires. Industrial area. The only thing I don't know which is 6th Street, I don't know which is 7th Street, the numba bulumbi. Kuba no bupande tebuliko. Ba tredde ko bupande fabata kwata bitatukwatako. Okitegeera. Hello, I kindly talk about Toyota Vista Adeo. This is why I actually did the Kizen again, because we talked about the Adeo. Adeo is a very good car, by the one that has a VVTi engine. It will cost you about 11, 12, 13 million. Okitegeera. It has the same engine as the Primo new model. Maintenance is very okay. It shares most of the spares with the Primo, so it should be, and it's very comfortable, by the way. It's just the sitting engine yokubala, but the Vista Adeo is a very nice car. The Vista Adeo is a very nice car. So industrial area, you guys, what do you want me to ask for you prices? Mazimba kati. Bichi bye mamba bulizaako mwenyingira ko biduka byabwe bana. Nali babuli is the bay. Waliwo ebintu ebyo otagula mu industrial area kati nga furniture, bamujja wansi, bamuleeta ate ne bamuseera. You see the Porto Orozi cases, they should put their socks. This road has had potholes for 5 years. The potholes never go away. So you can't tell me that for 5 years, every financial year, you guys don't get a budget. Politicians. But you can't tell me that actually it's more than 5 years that these potholes have been like this. But you cannot tell someone that for 5 years, you have always been not get budget to repair this road. Ate potholes a single jam in the industrial area. So the Kizen, but then apart from the Kizen, which is Babadayaga Gura, but instead of buying the GDI, I would recommend you buy that Land Cruiser. You know, Land Cruiser, you don't take some of the so you have taxi by that patience. Since the Bagaranya, or let a chibulinang and inch later, it will have a sokayo. So I'm building a set, and on the set I need a very well made floor. So I was considering doing epoxy, and then I had two options, either epoxy or tiles. Epoxy is apparently more expensive than tiles, so I went the way of I'm going to do tiles, not epoxy. Tiles are much more affordable than epoxy. So I'm going to go window shopping today. I want to see which place I can buy where I can actually get a better price. The tiles everywhere else, I think a box is 40,000. The last time I came here, they were giving me at 32, but I want to find if I can get around 28 or 30. That would be a very good price, because then I'll be saving like a 10k. That's a 10k, and I think I'm buying about 20 boxes. So if I buy 20 boxes, 10k per box, it's 200,000. So I'll be saving. On top of that, because I'm not going to be putting the tiles. I take the first route, and they start putting. So if the 20 boxes cannot fit in my car and need at all. Yeah. Hello, after kind Vista and Jogen Deco. Okay, Maslow was this theoretician a long time ago that in his research he came up with a model that people use or should use for decision making. And he was saying that you should basically, as you make your decisions to either buy, make purchases, or spend money, or live your life, people live their life based on a hierarchy of needs. Nti omuntu bwaba abeera umbulamu, abeerawo based on a hierarchy of needs. At the very bottom of the pyramid, which is a very wide base, nga bw'olaba pyramids eza Egypt, okitegeera nti at the very bottom of the pyramid, people live for basic needs, and the basic needs include shelter, water, they include air, they include food, basic food. That people live for the very basic, being alive at the bottom of the pyramid. That's what people live for, at the very bottom of the pyramid, and that's the majority of people. Era fenaje tutandikira ngononya kyakulya. I remember when I had just come out of my A level, I was living alone and I was really surviving. I had money, but I did not know. Like I would go abroad and I work and I leave my money there. But when I was here, it was a real hustle. What I would have these long pieces of bread, and I will make sure I have portion in the house. So I would take porridge and that bread, and like it was my daily meal every day. It was a real hustle. And that time I was living for that. As long as I can pay my rent and eat something in my stomach, that's what I lived for. So that's what buli muntu atandikira ku eyo level nga akyanoonya kulya kitu abeerewo. That's the very basic. Kasitobera mulamu ng'olya nga you won't fall on the road because of hunger. Normally that's what people that's the first level. Then n'atwala level eyaddako eya security needs. Nti bw'omala oku basics ne zibaawo, then otandika security. Kati nti omuntu atandika ng'abeera mu bifo ebiri insecure, Kivulu, where. But then when life improves a little, then you shift from Kivulu, then you go to a much more secure place, a place that is ng'enkuba bw'etonnya amazzi tegakuyingirira mu nnyumba. Wali obadde onoonya kwebaka, ne bw'obanga ennaku ezimu teweebaka kasitoba nga empewo tejja kukufuuwa. Then you improve nogama no convey Kivulu. Let me go to Chikoni, probably it's better. Then notandika okunonya security needs, otandise okubeera olumunga n'emikwano, otandise okola ku mikwano. Eno 5th Street sibimanyi muganda wange. Nze kastanda pakati ngino manyi tukwe kusinga amaduuka ga tile ate I want to buy tiles kati awuzinga numba. Okitegeera bannange comment zange zigezi. I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know why my comments keep disappearing in the broadcast, but let me just go on. They may not come back. I'm going to delete this YouTube app and put it back again. Probably that's the issue. So anyway, Maslow's hierarchy means that you should make decisions based on how much you. After the basic needs, you go to security needs. After security needs, you go to they call it the belonging. Ntikate oyagala oberenga nawe inawe bakumanyidde. You start entering association. You see otandika okugenda alumni association, otandika okuteekayo sente, oyingidde busako oteekayo sente, okitegeera, otandika oyingidde mu Rotary and all that. Then after that level, you go to the self-actualization level, where here now it's where you start buying Mercedes-Benz, you start buying the Turages, you start buying Range Rovers because you have the money. Kati otandika kulaga ku bantu nzirina batandika okumanya nti okolaki. But all along, I actually have a video that I uploaded on Maslow's hierarchy. So if this is very fast because of Aduka Gagudu and I have to drive back to Matuga, so I have to go and haggle and negotiate for tiles, then get them loaded and then drive to Matuga. So what I'm trying to say is that your decision should be based on how much money you make and what your needs are. Because what abantu abamu, all you need is a car to move. For example, I need the car to move. Sinatuka kwetaaga comfort wadde njogerako nnyo, but I know era nzirayo nenekuba mu mutima nga bwe twali Emma used to be my guardian angel ng'agira gwe athakakana okitegeera. But buli wenjira nga nekuba mu mutima nga no, I need a means of transport. I need a means of transport, and my Corolla gives me means of transport. That's why in the embassy mu kibuga I can drive my wife to work and my kids to school. Nenzirayo Emma tugenywa bulungi. It's easy to maintain and I have no trouble with it. So this is all I need now. And yes, something could tell us we need a second car and we can afford to buy a second car, but when you look at the quality of life we have, according to Maslow, the quality of life we have, so let's maneuver. We don't want to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. When we get to that level, life has improved a little, then we can probably buy a second car. But that's knowing where you fall on Maslow's hierarchy. I'm going to come to this broadcast and share a link to that video where I talked about Maslow in detail. But today I've talked about the Kizen and then Maslow. Probably I can talk about Maslow in detail again on the live broadcast one of these days. Let me see what to do. But Kaizen basically is telling you continuously improve every aspect. Katogera about life, continuously improve every aspect of your life. Katfetogera kumotoka. Nti teweta gagama I want to drive a double cabin let's say Hilux 2015 model ntojigulirewo. No, if you're double cabin freak, you like double cabins, let's say a lot, start with a cheaper double cabin, about 10 to 12 million. Ogenengo linya, continuously improve until you get to that level that you want. Like me, I basically want to drive a luxurious car, but I'm improving. First of all, I can make my car luxurious. I'm going to shift. My wife wanted me to buy seat covers, but instead of buying seat covers at 200, I can go to webatundeje mito nemba emitwala 5 nemba wabine ebiri muno ne bampa byentekamu okitegeera. So I will continuously improve this car until a level that when my wife feels that okay, now it's a little more comfortable, well, until I also feel it's much more comfortable. Of course, the discomfort that I feel in my car is because my rear shocks are dead and I've not changed them. All I have to do is go and buy shocks, which cost me 200,000. Nzitekemu springs and nene eyongeredde waggulu ezo maaso mpya bupya okitegeera. So you continuously improve whatever you have. Nebweba nyumba yo obanga tonnasobola kutuuka ku kyoyagala, like when you are making the floor nga tolina sente za tile, so koteekemu nyiinu ng'osobola okusiimuula, then when you make more money buy the tiles okoleki oziteekemu. So that's Kaizen, continuously improve every aspect of your life. Kakubeere kwambala obako nekyoyagala naye there will be there's probably you cannot afford what you want basically, but you buy what you can do mpola n'ogenda ngo improving until you get to a level where nga byokola teri abiyisa maaso nga nawe wenyini tokolaki tobiyisaamu maaso. So you need to, and every aspect I'm applying the Kaizen. I was actually applying the Kaizen without knowing in my product development. You know, product development is one thing that I do at my workplace at Dynamo. For those that don't know Dynamo, go visit my website dynamocreatives.com and see what I do. And continuously we improve. I want to employ, I have about 18 people that work with me, and I want to have them on full-time employment. But I'm not doing it at once. Nchikola mpola kati waliwo abali ku part-time. Then with time ngenda funa abadda ku full-time abala abadde ku part-time. And as our product develop then I can get all of them. Continuous improvement in every aspect of your life. I cannot retrieve the comments, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to be able to read the names. Let me see who are Bashir, Martha, Emma, JK, October. News, what's the other word? Bakoba Emma Mwenda. Bakoba Emma Mwenda. Thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. I cannot retrieve the comments, so I cannot even see how many people are on the broadcast right now. Then you know basibula, so that I save some time akudayate mochalo. I wish you a very nice day. I'll see you tomorrow in the morning 7:15. Ciao.